welcome back everyone to the Eyecare Experts, Dr. Bell, Dr. Terrezza, and we have Kat again with us, who's our office manager / general manager. She does a little bit of everything.
Just a little bit of everything. So we wanted to talk about using your FSA and HSA and gift giving, for this podcast. How was y'all's Thanksgiving? Is it good?
Always good.
Can't complain.
Have enough turkey? I think I'm pretty full from turkey. So
elastic pants.
So one of the things about, right after Thanksgiving, it's like, whoo, Christmas is around the corner. And also with Christmas around the corner, we have people with FSA and HSA that need to be used up by the end of the year. And so I just want to kind of talk a little bit about that. So FSA stands for Flexible Spending Account, and it's one of those accounts that you get to put pre-tax dollars into the account to use for health benefit type stuff, like your co-pays, your deductibles and things like that, even for your dependents. And HSA is Health Savings Account, and that usually coincides with a high deductible health plan. So again, that money is pre-tax dollars that you put in to this account, but it has to go alongside with a health plan that's a high deductible plan. So both of those are usually employer driven. You pretty much get it from your employer and stuff like that. The main difference is FSA, Flexible Spending Accounts. It's one of those you use it or lose it by the end of the year, but with a health savings account, those can be rolled over and that can be transferred to a different employer and whatnot. But what I always like to recommend to patients that have FSA with your flexible spending account, when we say use it or lose it, you've got to use it or lose it. And a lot of people don't realize that we can actually use it in our offices for eyeglasses, for sunglasses, for things like that, because those are considered medical devices. So you'll start seeing a lot of ads about use your FSA before the year runs out. That's why. If you have an FSA account and you still have funds left over, think about getting some sunglasses. Stop in at any of our offices. You don't need an appointment. You can use that account, that card that you get with your FSA towards glasses and stuff like that.
Well, just the one thing I will say from experience in doing this for a number of years is we do get busy. The offices get pretty busy, towards the end of December, when it gets about that time, end of the year. So if you do have that money available, whether it's FSA, HSA, whatever you have, certainly, that, let's get you scheduled. So, if you call December 21st or 22nd, we may not have enough, appointments opening to get you in for the end of the year. So certainly plan on that now. Try to get you in, make sure we do get you in before the end of 2024.
Yeah, another thing, if you're wearing contacts, you can buy the next year's supply and just be stocked up so that you can use those benefits instead of losing them.
We do have some Medicare, I think Medicaid insurances that have like a
that comes with the
FS. It comes with a card, and we have patients who say, I have this card, and they say, hey, what can I use this on? And I think the guidelines are the same where they can use
it's the same. So there's a bunch of Medicare Advantage plans in the area, in the Panhandle area, that part of your plan is you get an FSA card. Some of these cards come with $250, $500. I've even heard of some plans $1,000 on there. So those cards can be used towards the purchase of your glasses, towards your co-pays, towards your deductible. And I even will joke with patients too. I was like, does your mom need glasses too? Go ahead and use your FSA card, because you're able to use it for your dependents too. So that's one of the things that we always try to recommend, at the end of the year, check your flexible spending account, see how much money you have left, use it or lose it kind of deal. And also insurance too.
Sure.
A lot of insurance plans, it ends 2024. I mean, it'll be here before we know it. We got another month and it's 2025 and you lose your insurance benefit. So to piggyback off of what Dr. Bell was talking about, try to schedule, make your appointments, to try not to be so last minute, because we get booked up pretty fast because people are trying to use their benefits before the end of the year.
Yeah, get in, use your insurance, use your flexibility cards, whatever you have. We certainly want to be there to, whether it's just a pair of sunglasses, whether it's a new prescription pair of glasses, maybe you need a pair of computer glasses, or maybe, hey, nighttime driving is getting tough and you want a pair just for driving at night. There's a lot of different things. Even if you have a pair of glasses currently, there's a lot of other things that we offer. Occupational pair of glasses is something we talk about for patients who are working on the computer and having to look up close. So just based on your needs, and that's what we talk to patients all day long, and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you on the computer a lot? Where are you looking at? Are you looking at distance near or just at near? And that kind of helps us to determine, based on their environment or what they're doing most of the time, what might be the best option for these patients.
And if you had considered some of these task-specific glasses, and you do have that money to use, that might be something to do with that you wouldn't normally undertake the expense of.
Or if you just want 2 or 3 pairs to match your outfits. So that's pretty much, we just want to, no comment. He said no comment. We just pretty much want to at least remind our patients about FSAs and HSAs before the end of the year. It's one of those use it or lose it kind of things. And a lot of people don't realize that you can use it for glasses. You can use it for copays for an eye exam. You can, and I even will recommend people, like, if you want to get a pair of sunglasses as a gift to someone, I mean, that qualifies. It's because it's considered a medical device.
This is kind of putting you on the spot, but this is a question. There are some insurances, let's say just a routine vision insurance, where there's, whatever it is out there that the patient may have. There's some that renew at the next year, like January, and there's some that I guess renew from the time they had the exam. Do you know what determines that, or is that just dependent on the insurance they have?
It just depends on the insurance plan and stuff like that. Most plans do, you have to use that benefit plan before the end of the year, but there are plans out there that it's very date specific, meaning year to date. Meaning if you got your exam May of this year in 2024, you won't be eligible for benefits till May of 2025. So, and also some plans only cover every 2 years. Of course, this is all very insurance specific. However, we try to recommend patients on insurance, to go ahead if your plan is one of those that is eligible, your benefits are eligible for the year, to use it or lose it. Otherwise, you lose your 2024 benefits and it starts back over in 2025.
If you have questions about that, we have 5 full-time insurance people that will go over your plan for you. Just call the office. They'll read you all the specifics and look it up for your specific case.
And as far as whether it's sunglasses or a brand name you're looking for, we have a lot of that listed on our website, terrezzaoptical.com, where you can look and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And, just because you get an exam, each office has a little bit different selection overall, but it doesn't matter what office you get your exam at, that prescription, you can go to any of the other offices and say, hey, I'm looking for this. And let's say Palafox Downtown is the only office that carries that. Well, that patient can certainly go down there and get that. So we're all on the same system. We're all on the same EMR, where they're going to have the same access that, at all the offices or any of the offices you go to we'll have all that information.
Yeah, that magnifies your choices larger than just about anybody else in this area.
And for me, having the big head, I know when I go in and look at glasses, sometimes you'll try on and maybe the temples aren't long enough or maybe it's too tight. And so there are size options too, so certainly ask the dispenser, the optician, and say, hey, this is the pair of glasses I really like. Does it come in a different size? Does it come in a different color?
Yeah.
So we can a lot of times order, maybe we have just one in the office, but there may be certainly other selections or other options available. The one thing I was going to say since you're here today is we talk a lot about providers and we talk about us and talk about docs, but the one thing I will say with us as a whole is we're very, very fortunate to have staff, to have office managers, general managers that have been with us for years and years, and they are a big part, if not equal, to what we do. And we hear that quite a bit from patients, from reviews that, hey, we have an awesome staff, or hey, that tech that worked me up was great, or hey, this dispenser did a great job, or hey, this is, so all that, certainly we want to do the best for the patients that we can, our part, but also staff part. And so it helps us to have staff that's been with us years and know kind of what the goal is. And the goal is to certainly treat and take care of patients. And we certainly want to say thank you to Kat for being here and all of our staff for being here. We are very, very fortunate to have the staff that we do.
I agree. We have staff members that have been with us more than 40 years. At least 10 or so have been with me more than 30 years. And then the 20s, the 10s, and the rookies. But we have a staff of 133, which is a fairly sizable number. And with those kind of numbers in terms of their longevity with me, I think says a lot for how I and the other doctors and Kat run the practice.
I think of course, I played football. I love football, and I always do football analogies. But to have like a junior, senior on the staff, where the new hire kind of sees what the goal is or what we should be expected to do, and then that kind of helps all the new hires to say, hey, this is the way it's going to be done. This is what this is what we're trying to achieve. This is the expectation level, and then everybody kind of rises to that. So certainly it helps us.
Well, and the orchestra conductor has to be pretty knowledgeable also.
And she is, definitely. She's worked at every phase. She's worked with some great people in the past, and I've certainly worked with her and known her for years and years. So it certainly makes our job and makes everything we do.
I just feel like since we just had Thanksgiving, they're just so thankful right now.
End of the year.
End of the year recap.
Well,
the next thing I want to talk about is gift giving.
Yep.
So we do offer gift cards in our office. So if you have a family member, a friend, or anyone that you would like to purchase a gift card for them, we will be happy to help you out with that. Because sometimes you have friends or family members that need an eye exam, and they don't have insurance, or they just don't have the funds, or you're just trying to think of a gift idea that's meaningful, that can be useful and things like that. So we do offer gift cards in office for purchase. Our eye exams start at $99, so do a $100 gift card and it'll at least cover the eye exam.
And that's a physical
card? It's a physical gift card, yep.
And they can put any amount?
Any amount that they want.
Is there a time frame of how long they got to use it?
They can, I believe it's a 12 months.
Okay.
Just like any other gift card that you buy from any store, they have like a 12-month expiration, but.
And you could do that with, if you had some money left over, could you do that with an FSA card or something like that? You could use a gift card and say, hey, I've already bought my sunglasses and I've still got a little bit left over. Let me just use that last little bit to buy a gift card and give that to a family or a friend or what have you.
Correct, absolutely. So we always say, giving the gift of sight is what we're calling it. You want to give a friend, a family member, just something that they can use, essentially. So we offer gift cards.
Good program.
Yeah. So.
Well, yep, we're definitely end of the year, wrapping up. So it's use anything you got left over. Give us a call. We got any questions? Let's see if we got any. I was thinking we usually get some questions here, but one of the questions is as sunglasses, progressives. What sunglasses would we recommend in the state of Florida? Like UV protection, polarized. What would you say would you recommend for someone to come in? I guess that's kind of depending on what they're doing.
I can just give you a menu list. I mean, there's a new lens from Essilor called the Transition Gen S.
Okay.
And it gets a lot darker for those people who like that, and it changes a lot quicker. So there's 8 generations of that lens from when it first came out. And usually a patient will say, well, I've had those before. No, you haven't. You had generation 1, 2, 3.
Right.
This is a completely different bird.
Especially when they say, hey, it took a long time for it to change.
Yeah.
You're saying these are a lot faster to do
This
something.
is a different ballgame, yes. And we do clip-ons with various tints to them. We do the chem lights, which are magnetic clips that stick to the front of your glasses, and they work well. Got to be careful if you have coatings and things on your lenses, though, when you put them on. So if you're not paying attention, you can scratch lenses.
Well, I get the polarized question a lot, should I get polarized or non-polarized sunglasses? And I usually will ask and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you, so things, especially like a fisherman, you're working on the road, anything where the light rays could reflect off of that surface on the ground, polarized I think is a good option because it eliminates that reflection off a surface, whether it's snow, whether it's water, whether it's asphalt. I personally like polarized sunglasses, but I think part of that depends on what you're wearing them for and probably what you're doing. Whether it's
Well, I recommend them in general myself, yes.
Especially in the state of Florida.
Especially in Florida, we definitely need it.
I know I've gotten to the point, even on overcast days, I usually wear sunglasses. I've just gotten used to it, where it's just easier on me. And then we talk about cataracts. and just dryness and things like that too, that certainly, would benefit if you wear some UV protection where you're less at risk or, for cataracts to get worse from the
Well, that's
outside.
the one that's medical evidence shows is it's part of the etiology of cataracts. It's a proven generator of cataracts.
And even pterygiums. I mean, that's that we talk about the white part of the eye, whether it's, gross. A lot of patients come in and say, hey, what is that? This brown or salmon color patch on the white part of the eye, the conge. And that's usually a pterygium or pinguecula, and that's from being out in the sunlight, the UV light. See that a lot with patients who work outside all day, or hey, they're a fish, boat captain or a fisherman or, anything like that. And that's where the sunglasses.
And that's why sunglasses are considered medical devices, which can be used with your FSA or HSA.
Or gift cards.
Or gift cards. Whatever you like.
Well, anything, I feel like we covered it pretty good. Anything else you want to add before we?
Except what we left out.
Huh?
And I don't know what that is.
We-
otherwise They wouldn't be left out.
Well, we want to thank you for joining in again, and thank you for the viewers for certainly taking the time to watch the podcast. Remember, TerrezzaOptical.com. We've got 5 locations currently, actually we got
lost.
6. We got 6 locations currently. Excuse me. We just had one open up in Fairhope last month, so we got 6 currently, and we're looking to open possibly 1 or 2 more in the next 3 or 4 months.
2025.
So it's exciting times.
Yes.
And just to think, it all started, you bought the first office in Milton in 1975.
That's correct.
So next year, and
Next
we're
year
only
will
a
be-
few weeks from it, it'll be 50 years. So that's a positive. That means you've done a good job and certainly set a foundation, certainly for us to come in and piggyback on. I'll say it like
Well, I
that.
want to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
So you guys are more than capable of doing that.
Well, we appreciate you. We certainly appreciate Kat, and we appreciate the viewers. Thank you guys for
Thank you,
viewing
guys.
in. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.